Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Check in with my live stream. All right. Go away, little box, so I can see what's going on. Good. Now I can see what's going on. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Today is March 2nd, 2020. The time is now 7:22. Central Standard Time. I was going to say 21, but it just changed on me. Today is March 2nd, 2020. It's Monday morning. Monday morning. Good morning. Life of Key is the early bird in the room that says, good morning, 40 fam. Good morning, Life of Key. We're going to do something special today. You know what it is? Right, we're going to read the Bible. Because that's what I do on my channel in the morning. This is the New Believers Compact Bible. First Steps for New Christians. We are in the book of Numbers. Numbers. And I believe today is going to be chapters 10 through 12. Wasn't reading chapters 7, 8, and 9 just so exciting yesterday? Not really. Not everything in the Bible is going to be super exciting, super like dramified, like a narrative that you can follow. Some of it is pure information, and yesterday was the day, one of those days of pure information, talking about the different tribes. We already talked about how they're organized by tribes and families and clan leaders, and how they're supposed to be set up around the camp, around the tabernacle, and then how the separation between the Levites went from the Kohathites and the Gershonites and the Merarites, and even some Nazarites if they wanted to, be extra special. And then yesterday was a breakdown of the offerings that each of the tribe had to bring on each of their days. So days 1 through 12, each of those 12 tribes, they all brought the exact same thing. And each of those tribes have their own section stating that they brought the same thing. It didn't just say, these are the tribes and this is what they brought. They all brought the same thing. It was a little bit tedious. So anyways, that was 12 different passages talking about the different tribes. Who was that? Let's see. The tribe of... Let's see. If anybody knows the tribes by heart by now, let me know. I don't. I know Benjamin and Dan and Gad and somebody else. But let's see. Let's do a recap. 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so chapter 7 was offerings of dedication. That's where pretty much things started to get a little bit repetitious. It was just talking about each individual tribe and what they brought and how much they brought. So chapter 7 says offerings of dedication, which was talking about the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Issachar, the tribe of Zebulun, the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Simeon, the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Ephraim, the tribe of Manasseh, the tribe of Benjamin, the tribe of Dan, the tribe of Asher, and the tribe of Naphtali. Those are the 12, and they all brought the same stuff. I'm not going to go through the list of stuff that they brought, but yeah. And then let's see, then of course at the end of chapter 7, it totaled everything up, how much the silver weighed, how many of the livestock there was for the specific offerings, how much incense and how much grain and how much olive oil. Olive oil was a big thing for me yesterday. I don't know why, but yeah, I felt like I was singing the 12 days of Christmas during that one because it was all the same thing. All right, chapter 8 was talking about preparing the lamps. Prepare the lamps. The Levites are dedicated because remember they're supposed to substitute and represent the firstborn of the group. Chapter 9 was talking about the second Passover and the fiery cloud. That's where I left off because I was like, when I move, you move, just like that. Cloud of fire by night and cloud of smoke by day. So when God moved, they moved. When God stood still, they stood still. Laverne Dorsey says, good morning. Good morning. All right. Today is talking about silver trumpets. Silver trumpets. Okay. Now, I didn't bring my lemon, but I think I'll make it through all right. Now, the Lord said to Moses, Make 2 trumpets of hammered silver for calling the community to assemble and for signaling the breaking of the camp. Like everybody put their hand in and go break, and then they're all like moving around. Well, they probably didn't do the hand thing, but they do that in basketball. March Madness is on my mind. Okay, when both trumpets are blown, everyone must gather before you at the entrance of the tabernacle. But if only one trumpet is blown, then only the leaders, the heads of the clans of Israel, must present themselves to you. When you sound the signal to move on, the tribes camped on the east side of the tabernacle must break camp and move forward. When you sound the signal a second time, the tribes camped on the south will follow. You must sound short blasts as the signal for moving on. But when you call the people to an assembly, blow the trumpets with a different signal. Only the priests, Aaron's descendants, are allowed to blow the trumpets. This is a permanent law for you to be observed from generation to generation. When you arrive in your own land and go to war against your enemies who attack you, sound the alarm with the trumpets. Then the Lord your God will remember you and rescue you from your enemies. Blow the trumpets in the time of gladness too, sounding them at your annual festivals and at the beginnings of each month. And blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings and peace offerings. The trumpets will remind the Lord your God of his covenant with you. I am the Lord your God. And now in verse 11, the Israelites leave Sinai. In the 2nd year after Israel's departure from Egypt, on the 20th day of the 2nd month, the cloud lifted from the tabernacle of the covenant. So the Israelites set out from the wilderness of Sinai and traveled on from place to place until the cloud stopped in the wilderness of Paran. When the people set out for the first time, following the instructions the Lord had given through Moses, Judah's troops led the way. They marched behind their banner, and their leader was Nahshon, son of Amminadab. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Issachar, led by Nathanael, son of Zuar, and the troops of the tribe of Zebulun, led by Eliab, son of Helon. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the Gershonite and Merari divisions of the Levites were next in line of march, carrying the tabernacle with them. Reuben's troops went next, marching behind their banner. Their leader was Elizur, son of Shedur. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Simeon, led by Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai, and the troops of the tribe of Gad, led by Eliasaph, son of Duel. Next came the Kohathite division of the Levites, carrying the sacred objects from the tabernacle. Before they arrived at the next camp, the tabernacle would already be set up at its new location. Ephraim's troops went next, marching behind their banner. Their leader was Elishama, son of Ammihud. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Manasseh, led by Gamaliel, son of Pedazur, and the troops of the tribe of Benjamin, led by Abidan, son of Gideoni. Dan's troops went last, marching behind their banner and serving as the rear guard for all the tribal camps. Their leader was Izer, son of Ammishaddai. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Asher, led by Pagiel, son of Ochran, and the troops of the tribe Naphtali, led by Ahira, son of Enan. This was the order in which the Israelites marched, division by division. One day Moses said to his brother-in-law Hobab, son of Reuel, the Midianite, "We are on our way to the place the Lord promised us, for he said, 'I will give it to you.' Come with us, and we will treat you well, for the Lord has promised wonderful blessings for Israel." But Hobab replied, "No, I will not go. I must return to my own land and family." "Please don't leave us," Moses pleaded. "You know the places in the wilderness where we should camp. Come be our guide. If you do, we'll share with you all the blessings the Lord gives us." They marched for 3 days after leaving the mountain of the Lord, with the ark of the Lord's covenant moving ahead of them to show them where to stop and rest. As they moved on each day, the cloud of the Lord hovered over them, and whenever the ark set out, Moses would shout, "Arise, O Lord, and let your enemies be scattered. Let them flee before you." And when the ark was set down, he would say, "Return, O Lord, to the countless thousands of Israel. Chapter 11. Mourning, though is. Chapter 11. The people complain to Moses. Wah, wah, wah. Let me stop. Might have been legitimate complaints. We'll see. Soon the people began to complain about their hardship, and the Lord heard everything they said. Then the Lord's anger blazed against them, and he set a fire to rage among them, and it destroyed some of the people in the outskirts of the camp. Then the people screamed to Moses for help, and when he prayed to the Lord, the fire stopped. After that, the area was known as Taberah, which means the place of burning, because fire from the Lord had burned among them there. Then the foreign rabble, Then the foreign rabble who were traveling with the Israelites began to crave the good things of Egypt. And the people of Israel also began to complain. "Oh, for some meat," they exclaimed. "We remember the fish we used to eat for free in Egypt, and we had all the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic we wanted. But now our appetites are gone. All we ever see is this manna." The manna looked like small coriander seeds, and it was pale yellow like gum resin. The people would go out and gather it from the ground. They made flour by grinding it with hand mills or pounding it in mortars. Then they boiled it in a pot and made it into flat cakes. These cakes tasted like pastries baked with olive oil. The manna came down on the camp with the dew during the night. Moses heard all the families standing in the doorways of their tents whining, and the Lord became extremely angry. Moses was also very aggravated, and Moses said to the Lord, "Why are you treating me, your servant, so harshly? Have mercy on me. What did I do to deserve the burden of all these people? Did I give birth to them? Did I bring them into the world? Why did you tell me to carry them in my arms like a mother carries a nursing baby? How can I carry them to the land you swore to give their ancestors? Where am I supposed to get meat for all these people? They keep whining to me, saying, 'Give us meat to eat.' I can't carry all these people by myself. The load is far too heavy. If this is how you intend to treat me, just go ahead and kill me. Do me a favor and spare me this misery." Verse 16. Moses chooses 70 leaders. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Gather before me 70 men who are recognized as elders and leaders of Israel. Bring them to the tabernacle to stand there with you. I will come down and talk to you there. I will take some of the Spirit that is upon you, and I will put the Spirit upon them also. They will bear the burden of the people along with you, so you will not have to carry it alone. And say to the people, 'Purify yourselves, for tomorrow you will have meat to eat.' You were whining, and the Lord heard you when you cried, 'Oh, for some meat. We were better off in Egypt.' Now the Lord will give you meat, and you will have it to eat. And it won't be for just a day or two, or for 5 or 10 or even 20. You will eat it for a whole month until you gag and are sick of it. For you have rejected the Lord who is here among you, and you have whined to him, saying, 'Why did we ever leave Egypt?'" Verse 21. But Moses responded to the Lord, "There are 600,000 foot soldiers here with me, and yet you say I will give them meat for a whole month? Even if we butchered all our flocks and herds, would that satisfy them? Even if we caught all the fish in the sea, would that be enough?" Then the Lord said to Moses, "Has my arm lost its power? Now you will see whether or not my word comes true." So Moses went out and reported the Lord's words to the people. He gathered the 70 elders and stationed them around the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to Moses. Then he gave the 70 elders the same spirit that was upon Moses. And when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied. But this never happened again. 2 men, Eldad and Medad, had stayed behind in the camp. They were listed among the elders, but they had not gone out to the tabernacle. Yet the Spirit rested upon them as well, so they prophesied there in the camp. A young man ran and reported to Moses, "Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp." Joshua, son of Nun, who had been Moses' assistant since his youth, protested, "Moses, my master, make them stop." But Moses replied, "Are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his spirit upon all of them. Then Moses returned to the camp with the elders of Israel. Verse 31. The Lord sends quail. Now the Lord sent a wind that brought quail from the sea and let them fall all around the camp. For miles in every direction there were quail flying about 3 feet above the ground. So the people went out and caught quail all that day and throughout the night and all the next day too. No one gathered less than 50 bushels. They spread the quail all around the camp to dry. But while they were gorging themselves on the meat, while it was still in their mouths, the anger of the Lord blazed against the people, and he struck them with a severe plague. So that place was called Kibroth Hattaavah, which means graves of gluttony, because there they buried the people who had craved meat from Egypt. From Kibroth Hattaavah, the Israelites traveled to Hazeroth, where they stayed for some time. Verse 12, the complaints of Miriam and Aaron. Let me take a quick break to check in with you all and also to do a screen share to show anyone who may be wondering what guide I'm using. Here we go. A Woman's Guide to Reading the Bible in a Year. A Life-Changing Journey into the Heart of God. We are in, oh my goodness, this is week 10. Well, I do declare, we are in week 10, and yes, I'm now reading through Numbers 10 through 12. As soon as I finish this last piece, I will, no thank you. There we go. As soon as I finish this last piece, I will go through the entry there to catch us up. Wow, forgot. It is week 10. It's week 10. Hot diggity dog. Okay, so chapter 12. This is the complaints of Miriam and Aaron. While they were at Hazeroth, Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses because he had married a Cushite woman. They said, "Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hasn't he spoken through us too?" But the Lord heard them. Now Moses was very humble, more humble than any other person on earth. So immediately the Lord called to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam and said, "Go out to the tabernacle, all 3 of you." So the 3 of them went to the tabernacle. Then the Lord descended in the pillar of cloud and stood at the entrance of the tabernacle. "Aaron and Miriam," he called, and they stepped forward. And the Lord said to them, "Now listen to what I say. If there were prophets among you, I, the Lord, would reveal myself in visions. I would speak to them in dreams, but not with my servant Moses. Of all my house, he is the one I trust. I speak to him face to face, clearly, and not in riddles. He sees the Lord as he is. So why were you not afraid to criticize my servant Moses?" The Lord was very angry with them, and he departed. As the cloud moved from above the tabernacle, there stood Miriam, her skin as white as snow from leprosy. When Aaron saw what had happened to her, he cried out to Moses, "Oh, my master, please don't punish us for this sin we have so foolishly committed. Don't let her be like a stillborn baby already decayed at birth." So Moses cried out to the Lord, "Oh God, I beg you, please heal her." But the Lord said to Moses, "If her father had done nothing more than spit in her face, wouldn't she be defiled for 7 days? So keep her outside the camp for 7 days, and after that she may be accepted back." So Miriam was kept outside the camp for 7 days, and the people waited until she was brought back before they traveled again. Then they left Hazeroth and camped in the wilderness of Paran. The only thing I see in the postscript is that for verse 10 and 12, I used the word leprosy, but it says here that the Hebrew word used can describe various skin diseases. So she was not necessarily made instantly into a leper, but at that moment she did have a skin disease. So that is chapters 10, 11, and 12. Let me pop back over to my guide, because it's week 10. I totally forgot. Totally forgot to mention that. This is week 10 of reading the Bible, and this week's theme is Wilderness Travails. Wilderness Travails. When their camp was fully organized, God sent the Israelites out to the wilderness of Sinai. They traveled and camped from place to place until God told Moses to send 12 men into the land of Canaan, the promised land, to explore it. After 40 days, the men returned, carrying samples of amazing produce, but dismayed by the size and strength of the people they had seen. 10 of the 12 reported that the Israelites could never take the land. Only Caleb and Joshua disagreed. Fearfully siding with the 10, the Israelites rebelled against God. Their ultimate consequence was nearly 40 years of desert wandering. Except for Caleb and Joshua, no one 20 years or older would ever enter Canaan. A Levite named Korah and 2 others gathered 250 followers and incited a rebellion against Moses, but with disastrous results for themselves. With leadership from God through Moses and Aaron restored, the Israelites' journeying continued, and surrounding nations began to consider them a threat. At the same time, although they had been warned against it, the Israelites began to be influenced by the worship of those nations' gods. So that is what we have to expect to hear this week as I continue to read through, Numbers 10 and 12, which 10 through 12, which was today. And by the end of the week, we're going to get through Numbers 30. So 10 through 12 today, 11 through 15 tomorrow, 16 through 18 Wednesday, 19 through 21 on Thursday, 22 through 24 on Friday, 25 through 26 on Saturday, or 27 rather, and then 28 and 30 through 30 on Sunday. These are the checkpoints: giants and grasshoppers, almond buds and blossoms, a talking donkey, a star from Jacob's tribe, and female heirs. That's a new one. Female heirs. Those are the checkpoints for this week's readings. Giants and grasshoppers, almond buds and blossoms, a talking donkey, a star from Jacob's tribe, and female heirs. Interesting. And then I got a little quote here at the end for chapter 10. It says, well, it was so quick that I missed it when I turned the page. The Bible was written in tears. The Bible was written in tears, and in tears it yields its best treasures. That quote is by A.W. Tozer. A.W. Tozer. All right. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me this morning. I do appreciate the likes. I appreciate your time that you are taking to listen to me read the Bible, as it is my New Year's resolution for the year 2020. And here we are, week 10 of reading the Bible. Special thanks to my live stream guest today, Life of Key, Laverne Dorsey, and The Wiz. I appreciate you, and I will see you guys on tomorrow morning. And on that note, quick prayer for the week. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, and be glad in it. This is the day, Monday, that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And I am thankful for this week. I am thankful for getting through a very, very rough weekend. And Lord, I trust you. And I'm just going to continue to work on my faith and my obedience and my studies. And just trying to learn more about you so I can live my best life through you. Amen. Okay, see y'all tomorrow. Entrepreneur Drive 40, Entrepreneur Drive. Entrepreneur Drive 40, Entrepreneur Drive. Entrepreneur Drive 40, Entrepreneur Drive. Thanks for watching, share, like, and subscribe.